God spiritually if you're not equipped to handle where God is taking you, whether it be financial, whether it be social, whether it be spiritual. If you don't have the capacity to handle increase, it'll destroy you. And we thank God that He don't bring increase until we are ready to handle it. Amen. So again, I say thank God for the increase.
Thank you, Lord.
Hallelujah.
Thank you, God.
Glory to God. Thank you, Jesus. Because if He has brought increase, that means we are now in the position to handle.
Yes, Lord.
Glory to God.
We're ready.
Hallelujah.
Thank you,
We are
Jesus.
now in the place mentally, spiritually,
Yes,
to
Lord.
handle increase. Amen.
Amen.
Glory to God. So we bless God. Hallelujah. And for our Apostle Michael Bobian, hallelujah, in the house. Glory to God.
Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Jesus. We understand this is his third service today. Somebody say apostles on the move.
Apostles on the move.
Apostles on the move.
Apostles on the move.
All right, while he moving, y'all pray God give him strength.
Yes, Lord.
In this journey. Glory to God. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Bless the name of the Lord. We're going to go into the Word of God. And I find myself in the book of Mark. Mark chapter 5. Mark chapter 5. And we're going to go down to verse 21. Glory to God. We're dealing with one mic today. I'm sure everybody is quite evident today. Our mic system is a bit out of commission. But we thank God. We just know this God's going to open the door for a blessing. Amen.
Amen.
Glory to God. This current set has seen us through much. Now, God, we pray God for increase.
Amen.
Amen.
For a system that will see us through much more.
Yes, Lord.
Amen. If you have Mark chapter 5 and verse 21, acknowledge in your stance. For those of you who do not have it,
Amen.
we ask that you join us in standing.
Oh, okay.
Glory to God.
Amen. Amen. Praise the Lord.
Praise God. And it reads as this. Now when Jesus had crossed over again by boat to the other side, a great multitude gathered to him, and he was by the sea. And behold, one of the rulers of the synagogue, King Jairus by name.
Wow.
And when he saw him, he fell at his feet and begged him earnestly, saying, My little girl lies at the point of death. Come and lay your hands on her, that she may be healed, and she will live. So Jesus went with him, and a great multitude followed him and thronged him. Now a certain woman had a flow of blood for 12 years.
That's my scripture.
And had suffered many things from many physicians. She had spent all that she had and was no better, but rather she grew worse. When she heard about Jesus, she came behind him in the crowd and touched his garment. For she said, If only I may touch his clothes, I shall be made well. Immediately the fountain of her blood was dried up, and she felt in her body that she was healed of the affliction. And Jesus, immediately knowing in himself that power had gone out of him, turned around in the crowd and said, Who touched me?
That's what he said.
But his disciples said to him, You see the multitude throning you, and you say, Who touched me? And he looked around to see her who had done this thing. And the woman, fearing and trembling, knowing what had happened to her, came and fell down before him and told him the whole truth.
Yes, she did now.
And he said to her, daughter,
Your what?
your faith
That's what he said.
has made you well.
Now he said that.
Go in peace and be healed of your affliction.
That's what he said.
While he was still speaking, some came from the ruler of the synagogue's house who said, your daughter is dead.
That's what they said now.
Why trouble the teacher any further?
That's what they said.
As soon as Jesus heard the word that was spoken, he said to the ruler of the synagogue, do not be afraid.
She all right.
Only believe.
That's right, he said.
And he permitted no one to follow him except Peter, James, and John, the brother of James.
Praying crew.
Then he came to the house of the ruler of the synagogue and saw a tumult and those who wept and wailed loudly. When he came in, he said to them, why make this commotion and weep? The child is not dead,
She ain't dead.
but sleeping.
That's what she is.
And they ridiculed him. But when he had put them all outside, he took the father and mother of the child and those who were with him and entered there. The child was lying.
Come on now.
Then he took the child by the hand
That's what he did.
and said to her,
That's what he did.
Talitha Kumai, which is translated, little girl, I say to you, arise.
Get up.
Immediately the girl rose and walked,
Read it.
for she was 12 years of age.
Read the scripture.
And they were overcome with great amazement. But he commanded them strictly that no one should know it.
See?
And said that something should be given to her
That's what he
to
said.
eat.
But she hungry.
And the word of the Lord is blessed. You may be seated. Glory to God. Just in reading it.
That's right.
Just in reading it.
That's fascinating there right there.
He was saying so much.
Amen.
But I'll tell you, the first thing, there were many things that grabbed my attention. But the first thing that caught my attention, and I'm sure to your amazement, was a three-letter word. Three-letter word. And. I was amazed at how many times the word and was showing up at the beginning of every verse. As a matter of fact, as I looked at it, I saw that the chapter began with the word and. And I thought about it, I'm like, who starts the story with and? Have you ever entered in onto a conversation, somebody's conversation is going on and what you caught was and so now you're wondering in your mind, well, what happened? Right. Because they said, and this happened, and that happened. Okay, well, what did I miss? Right. Because and tells me that I missed something. So now I'm wondering within myself, well, wait a minute. And then I started looking, and I realized that the more I went up, the more ands I encountered. Right. In the book of Mark, I discovered that there was more ands throughout. Well, I think chapter 1 was probably the only chapter in the King James Version. Right. Because I know some different translations may not go that way. But in my King James Version, chapter 1 was one of the few verses, or the few chapters, that did not begin with and. Well, and so that said to me, if there's an and, there's something that came before. Right. So I got to look at what came before I can get to what came after the end. Right. And so I began to look at that, and I realized that, well, before Jesus encountered Jairus, he had dealt with a young man that was demonically possessed. Right. And was in what we would now call the cemetery, in the tombs. And I believe when Jesus addressed him, he said, and asked him who he was, he said Legion, which said that he had many demons, not just one. He was wrestling with many things, not one thing.
That's true.
And he said that, it says that there were many people that tried to control him, but they couldn't do anything. They bound him with chains and with ropes and tied him down, and they just put him in places that he should not have been able to get out of. But because of all the demonic spirits that was upon him, he would just break loose. And just, tear up stuff. He just got away. And before that, it said Jesus dealt with, I'm sure you remember the message on the raging sea.
Oh, yeah.
Where he spoke to the wind
Yes, he did.
and to the waves. And there were many other things, many great things that Jesus did before that. And so Anne was covering all the things that Jesus did and everything that he spoke of. All the demonstrations of power, all the miracle signs and wonders. Then we get to Anne.
Jesus.
And he got back into the boat
That's what he did.
that he came out of
Yeah.
in the midst of the storm.
Uh-huh. Got back.
And he went over onto the other side. And when he came over to the other side, he encountered Darius. Well, it says that Darius was a ruler in the synagogue. And so then I began to understand that as a ruler, he was responsible for overseeing the worship service. He was responsible for overseeing all the activities that took place in the synagogues. He was responsible, yes, you can almost say everything. And we already know that the scribes and the Pharisees and the Sadducees, they didn't like Jesus. They didn't care for him one bit. And so that being the case, Darius would know this. He knew he had no business being in that crowd talking to Jesus, whom all of the other religious leaders didn't care nothing for. Because I'm sure that he felt the pressure. And I'm sure that they were influencing him, saying, nobody inside of this synagogue, no one in this house, nobody in this temple better go over there where Jesus is preaching and where he's teaching. You better not let me even see you up in the midst of the crowd of them. But here he was. Darius had made up in my mind, hold on. I know what they're saying. I understand that. But from what I've heard, this man has done some miracles. He has done some signs and some wonders. And I don't know about you, but I don't care what nobody got to say. If I know I need to be healed, I know I need to be delivered, I need to be set free, I'm going to go where I know that somebody knows how to get to Jesus. If it ain't Jesus himself, I want to know that somebody can get me a breakthrough. Somebody's going to be able to pray me through. Somebody can lay hands on the sick and the sick recover. Somebody is going to give me a word that is going to change and transform my life. And I believe Darius, he had heard the words of Jesus, because it says that there were people that was always crowding around him. And I believe word of mouth is the reason why there were so many people crowding around Jesus at every given moment. Because as he began teaching, he was only teaching to his disciples.
Right.
And if I remember correctly, he only had 12 of them.
Right.
He called 12 of them.
12.
So how come it multiplied and he was surrounded by thousands?
Surrounded.
3,000, 5,000, I mean thousands of people surrounding him. No matter what city he went into, there were thousands of people following him. All they had to do was hear that Jesus got on a boat, and wherever they thought that boat was going to land, there was a crowd of people waiting on the other side to encounter Jesus, to hear what he has to say and to see what he was going to do, what kind of miracles were going to be performed, who was going to be delivered, what demon was going to be cast out. Whatever it was they had heard had happened in the other city, they wanted to see, was he going to do the very same thing in their city? And so Darius made up in his mind. I'm sure he felt the peer pressure. Come on now, many of us have felt the pressure from different ones saying to them, you shouldn't go over there. If I were you, I wouldn't listen to those folks. Now come on now, I know they say they're doing this and I know they're saying that, but let me tell you a couple of things about them that you may not know. You know, they've been doing this and they've been doing that and they've been over here and they've been over there. Well, hold on. Do they know how to pray? Do they know how to get to Jesus? Do they know how to get me a breakthrough? Because that's what's important to me. I want to know. Do they know the word of God? Can they deliver a word to me that's going to change my life? That's going to transform my situation? Are they going to give me a word that's going to help me to get my children right, my family right? Are they going to speak something inside of me that is going to cause my whole world to turn around for the better? Because if that's the case, I don't need to know about their past. I don't know about you, but the past is the past. It can stay in the past for all I care. I want to know about right now.
Right now.
I want to know, what are they doing now?
Right now.
Because we all got a past if you tell the truth about it. We all, if you go digging now, We all got some skeletons.
Sure do.
But there's a reason why some stuff got buried.
Ain't no skeleton.
And what's buried needs to stay buried. So how about we not talk about what got buried, and let's talk about what's alive and what's living right now. What is the Spirit of God? I want to know what kind of spirit is operating in us. If it's the Spirit of God, that's all that matters to me right now.
I'm good.
Darius says, my daughter, who is 12 years old, is laying on her bed and she is about to die. So I need to get to somebody. See, the scribes and the Pharisees and the Sadducees, they don't know how to get a prayer through. So I need to get in touch with somebody that knows how to get a prayer through because my child is about to die.
Baby. Come on, Jesus. Oh, I ain't studying.
And so that's what I need. So Darius finds himself,
Jesus.
not only did he get in the presence of the one that they said, don't go around. But the scripture says Darius was at his feet. He fell down, and he didn't trip and fall either.
No, you didn't.
He went down on his feet,
By himself. He did.
on his knees at the man's feet,
Yeah.
on his own accord.
On his own accord. Ain't nobody pushing.
So wait a minute. You ain't even supposed to be there, and you got the nerve to go down on your knees and worship?
Listen. Jesus. My baby.
You gonna worship him?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You worship and you pleading to him?
In front of me.
Wait a minute. How dare you even what? So here he was.
Believe it.
He's at Jesus' feet. And the scripture says this now. This isn't even my own interpretation. The scripture says that he was begging.
He sure was.
Master, my daughter is laying on the bed and she is sick. But if you come and pray for her, I know that she will live. Wait a minute. You the ruler of the synagogue. You part of the Sadducees. You part of the Pharisees. You one of them folk. They don't really believe in healing. They don't believe in miracles, signs, and wonders. They don't believe in all that stuff. Wait a minute. What you doing here?
You wanted him.
Draw that picture, girl.
But you want me to come and
Draw that picture.
pray? 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 And you're not asking for, and I don't go against other denominations and all that stuff, but you're not asking for Hail Marys. You're not asking for no chanting or nothing of that. You saying lay hands on my child so that she can be healed. Lay hands on my child because my child needs to be delivered. Lay hands on my child. Jesus, I'm not calling for no circus show.
Wow.
I'm not calling for no long drawn out
What you say?
prayers. I'm calling for power.
Yeah.
I'm calling for demonstration because what I heard in the streets is that you demonstrate some stuff. So I need to know that you coming in here. And that's what they said. The word on the streets is that when you pray for stuff, when you start speaking and calling out stuff comes out. The word on the streets is that when you pray for somebody, they get healed. The word on the streets is when you cast out a demon, the demon gets cast out. So Jesus, I need you.
The word on the streets.
That's the word on the streets. And so I need you to come to my house. I'm begging you, come to my house. I'm pleading with you, Master. Come to my house. I know I'm not supposed to be here. I know if the scribes and the Pharisees and the Sadducees, if they see me here right now, they would probably want to throw some stones at me and they would probably want to kill me. They would slaughter my name all over the place. And right now, I'm not even concerned about all of that because what's important is my family. What's important is my marriage. What is important is my relationship. What is important is my household. What is important is my life. So I'm not concerned about all that. Darius says, I need you.
Yes. Oh boy. Oh, I need you.
If my household is going to change,
Oh yeah.
Jesus, I need you.
I need you.
If things are going to get better, Jesus, I need you.
I need you.
And so he cried out to him and finally, and I'm sure, when you got somebody that's had the last, every moment feels like 1,000 minutes. Even though it might have been just a millisecond, I'm sure being down on his knees, it felt like he had been there for years, because he knew that when he left his house, his daughter was on her bed and she was sick and she was afflicted and at the point of death. And so I'm sure that every second that he spent on his knees pleading and crying out to God, it was feeling like hours and hours and days and years, because I just couldn't imagine within myself, whenever I got to a place of desperation, it wasn't, God, I need you to move in a second. I need you to move the seconds that's already passed. It wasn't, God, if you move on tomorrow, it'll be all right. It's like, no, God, if you had moved last week, it would have been just fine. I need you to move right now. So I'm just feeling Darius, and he's in a place where he said, Jesus, I need you now. Even yesterday isn't good enough. I need you.
I need you now.
And here he was. And Jesus turns and he's like, come on.
Jesus.
Come on.
Wow.
And Jesus is on his way. Jesus is on his way.
On his way.
But somebody say, and.
And.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It says, and a certain woman,
And.
right in the midst of my breakthrough.
Well,
Wait a minute. All that crying out I just did. All that praising I just did. I just knew I had Jesus' attention. It was just me and Daddy God right now. And what? And what? Do you know what I had to go through to get to this moment? Do you understand what I had to go through? The things that I had to endure, all the ridicule, all the torment, my God, all the stuff that they said about me, all the stuff they said to me. Do you know the stuff that I had to press past just to get this moment, just to come to the place where I thought, now I got Jesus on my side. He is with me. We are in the throne room right now.
Come on.
And
yeah.
Isn't it amazing when life interrupts glory?
that's amazing.
Isn't it even more amazing when somebody else's life interrupts?
Wow.
Because here it is, he says, and a certain woman
That's what it said.
who had issues. My God, it's bad enough that I got issues, but now you got to interrupt my moment with your issues.
Well,
Oh,
it said 25. That's what it said.
oh. And since you've been dealing with it for 12 long years, it's going to take a minute.
Long time.
And my daughter ain't got no minutes. So here it is. And
Wow.
I've been crying out to God. I've been asking God to deliver. I've been asking him to save. I've been asking him to heal the hurts, heal the disappointment. All my issues I've been dealing with day and night. I've been crying out to God, and now I finally got into this place, in this moment of worship, and you're going to walk up to me. Man, I've been hurting, and I've been dealing with my hurt. Now you want to walk up to me and you want me to deal with your hurt?
Well,
I've been praying and crying out to God and seeking and fasting because I needed God to deal with all of my drama, and you going to walk into my life with your drama?
well,
And I've been seeking God. Do you understand? I've been wanting God to move in my life in a supernatural way. I've been praying for the glory of God to rest upon me. And you're going to come into my life with your issues?
well,
And
and
them 3-letter words.
yeah, 3-letter word.
3 letters. And it can do some amazing stuff. Because I'm on my road to glory. And I'm saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost, that with a mighty burning fire.
Burning fire.
And
Come on now.
And
I done accepted the call of God. He said they said that I was called to be a prophet. I was called to be a pastor. I was called to be an evangelist. I was called to be an apostle. And it's one thing when my issues interrupts my purpose. It's one thing when my issues interrupts my destiny. But your issues, your anxieties, your problems, your drama, and now my stuff on hold.
Well, reach in there.
Wait a minute. I've been to the altar.
Oh, boy.
I cried out. They told me to fast, and I fast.
Sure did. 21 days, 40 days, and now they 40 days. I didn't say 40 days and nights, 40 days.
Please don't say one.
Days. Okay.
Please don't say one.
But I did all of that.
Did all of that.
Because you said that if I did that, if I got rid of my issues, then God. If I got rid of all of my isms and my schisms, then God. If I got rid of all the drama, then God. Okay, so I've been dealing with all that, and God's been cleaning me up, and he's been shaking some stuff loose, and he's been cutting some stuff off. He done cast out a whole lot of the demons. I mean, there might be one or two, maybe.
Left a few
But he been, been working on me. And a certain woman who had been dealing with some issues in her life for 12 long years, who had been to some physicians. In other words, she had been to this church and that church and the church over there and the Pentecostal church and the apostolic faith and to the Anglican church and the Baptist church and the Methodist church, and she done been to all them churches, and she done paid her tithe, and she done gave her offering, and they said if you sow this seed, God is going to bless, and you sow that seed, God is going to deliver, and if you do a whole lot of hopping and a hollering and the swinging and the turning and all this stuff, God is going to set you free. And she did all of that, and behold, she was none better.
None better. All that hopping. Wow.
With all that hopping, now she done hopped into my destiny, into my purpose. Jesus, don't you understand? I mean, I know she's right there, and I know she been pulling on your coat, and I understand her faith, and my God is right there and everything like that, and she's ready to receive you. But my child is on the verge of death. Don't you understand that my destiny, my purpose is on the line here? Do you not know?
Well,
What I left at home, my everything is wrapped up in my family. My everything is wrapped up in my children. My everything is wrapped up in my marriage. And you, this moment, I thought for sure, because Jesus said, come on and let's go. So I thought for sure everything is going to be okay. But now this interruption is taking place, and I just don't know. I don't know, because now destiny is paused and my purpose is on hold. The ministry, I gotta put it over here, because now I gotta deal with somebody else who's hurting, because they've come to me, and I thought I'd have dealt with all the hurt that I could deal with, but now they're coming to me and they're telling me about their hurts and the wounds that I thought that I had dealt with. It seems to be resurfacing, and now not only am I dealing with their hurt, but I'm dealing with my hurt. And
preach anyhow.
Jesus, here I am. Destiny interrupted. Purpose interrupted. Seemingly on life support.
Wow. Jesus.
Even to the point to where they came and they said, don't even worry about it now. It's dead. The marriage, dead. The children, dead. Family, dead. Ministry, dead. Business, dead. Thank God for that 3-letter word. And because just when he thought for sure it is all over, it's all done, had Jesus not paused for a minute, for a second, my daughter would still be alive, because I'm sure we would have made it there on time if he had not been interrupted with somebody that's been dealing with them issues. Man, if you've been dealing with them issues for 12 more years, what's 12 more minutes? My child is on the verge of death. Don't you understand? I mean, hold on to that stuff. Let me go over here and let him deal with my issues for a second, because my child is going to die. My business is about to go under. My marriage is in divorce court. My child, the judge is ready to send him off for life. through your 12 years, 12 more minutes ain't gonna hurt you none.
Come on now. Hey.
Preach, Pastor.
All right, what's 12 more years?
So he got the word. Don't bother Jesus. Don't bother him. I mean, what's the point? It's over, man. Time's up. She gone. Ain't nothing happening. It's over with. Your time. I mean, if you didn't get it yesterday, it's just over. I mean, what can I tell you? But thank God. Even though Jesus is amazing, because even though that woman had Jesus' attention, he was still tuned into Darius. Thank God. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. And even though Jesus is dealing with somebody else's isms and schisms and their hurts and their disappointments, even though he's dealing with the stuff that's going on over here, he's still tuned in to what's going on over here. My God, thank you, Jesus. So Jesus got wind of what the man was saying into Darius' spirit, and thank God it didn't have time to take root in his spirit, because had Darius gotten to the point to where he had believed the report that was coming his way, I'm sure he would have called it done and said, Jesus, don't worry about it. You stay right on over here. I'm just going to go over here and bury my dead.
Come on. Wow.
But Jesus heard him. And Jesus says, oh, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. She's not dead.
Wow.
I know what they said. I know you want to file for foreclosure and everything like that, and you want to file bankruptcy. I know you want to throw in the towel. I know you want to give up on that child on your own. I know you want to just tell the judge, do what you got to do. I just can't take it no more. I know you want to tell the judge, come on, just send me the papers. I'm done with this marriage. Let's go ahead and dissolve it right now. But here is Jesus. He's saying, that moment that comes when even in despair, you're afraid to hope. You're afraid to believe. You're just afraid to, what if? And Jesus says, I know what it looks like. I know it feels like. I know it sounds like. And I know the report that they gave you make it seems like. But it ain't so. Don't believe what they're whispering in your ear. Don't believe the pictures that they're showing you. Don't believe what's going before your very eyes. Don't believe that. See, faith is not what you see. Faith is what you believe. He says, believe and you shall see. Not see and then believe. All I need you to do is believe that your child shall live and she shall live. And he said, come on, let's go on to your house, because your child, she is laying on that bed. And I know they say she's dead, but she ain't dead. I promise you, she is only asleep.
Wow.
My God, Jesus. After all the anxiety, all the worrying, and Jesus, come on, let's go. And he gets to the house, and isn't it something? You get to the house, and the mourners are already there. Ain't it amazing? Everybody's just ready to throw a pity party.
The mourners already.
They're already there. My goodness. The mourners there, the weepers there, the wailers, they're all there celebrating your demise.
What's the revelation?
That's my pastor.
Celebrating the death of your destiny, the death of your purpose, the death of everything that you hold dear. I mean, you just got the word and you just arrived to see what they're talking about, but the mourners are already there. Beat you to your own funeral.
That's amazing.
Ain't that something?
That's
You beat you to your own funeral. But he gets there, and the mourners are mourning. They're crying, they're weeping, and they're wailing. Isn't it amazing how folks can go from weeping, wailing, and crying to laughing? Because Jesus turned to them and he asked them, "What are you crying for? What's all this drama for? What's this all about? Come on now, what?" And they said, "Well, his daughter's dead. Haven't you heard? Didn't you get the word? Didn't you get the news? We sent the messenger to deliver the word to you. It's over. It's finished. It's through. Your future is over. We sent the word to you." I mean, how many words can I translate?
You all sick.
It's done. And Jesus says, no, it's not over. I can't give up now. No, I can't throw in the towel. Not now.
Not now.
No, I've come too far. I've been through too much. I've toiled all night. I prayed and I fasted and I cried out. Do you not understand? I believe every word that was spoken into my life and over my life. There is no way that it's over. There's no way that it's finished. You know what?
Well,
She's asleep.
no, you look crazy.
It looks twisted, but it's okay. It's just sleep. You know how when you go into someone has a really bad accident, there's so much going on with their body. Oftentimes when they get into the hospital, they have to put them in a coma. Into induced coma. So that they can deal with the injuries, so that they can deal with the hurt, so that they can deal with all the stuff that's going on with the body. They have to induce you into coma so that they can save you. So Jesus said, we just got her in a comatose state. She's all right. The marriage is just in a comatose state. The business is just in a comatose state. My goodness, the family is just in a comatose state. Your children is in a comatose state. Because there's some stuff that I gotta do. I gotta do some surgery, and there's some stuff that they won't be able to endure. So I just have to put them in a comatose state. In order for them to live, in order for them to survive, in order for our ministry to thrive and to go forward, there's some stuff that I have to do. I have to dig in and I have to delve into. I just have to put them into a comatose state.
My God.
So see, I know it looks like it's dead, but it ain't dead. I know it looks like it's over, but it ain't over. Ain't nothing over. Because as long as Jesus is speaking life into a thing, death can't come.
Amen.
Jesus.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard.
As long as Jesus is speaking life into a thing, death cannot come.
That's right. I like that.
And so Jesus said, she is only asleep.
Wow.
And the naysayers, the mourners that were mourning, and I'm laughing. You crazy? You done lost your everlasting mind. Man, this thing is over.
That's what they were saying.
Sometimes you got to know, oh yes, you did say that earlier today. You just got to have the gifts of goodbye. The naysayers, the negative word sowers, the people that's speaking in your life that's contrary to what God has said, put them out. Jesus says, get out.
Get out. Wow. That's what he said.
That's what Jesus said.
Sure said.
He put them out. He said, the only ones that I need in this room is the one to whose destiny this is. Who does this belong to?
Oh, boy.
Who is going to claim possession of this ministry, this marriage, this family, this business? Who does it belong to? If it's you, you're the only one that needs to be in this room.
Wow.
Everybody else, get out.
That's all right, right? Y'all take it. Wow.
He says, get out.
Wow.
See, because I need to speak life into, and while I'm speaking life into, I don't need you coming contrary to.
Wow.
I need to know that what I put inside of you is not going to be pulled out of you.
Wow.
And so everything that does not line up with my word, everything that does not line up with what I said is your destiny and your purpose, put it out.
Put it out. Wow. That's it.
Put it out.
Oh.
And after, I want you to notice now, it wasn't while they were going out, but after they got out.
Right.
That means after you cut the cord,
Come on.
after you separate yourself,
Cut the cord.
after you put them out of your life, after you stop listening to what they're saying into your ears, after you tell them, I don't even want to hear you.
Let him go. Let him go, Rick.
After.
Let him
You
go.
better believe that, bro. I'm cutting the cord, bro. What the?
Now wait a minute.
That's exciting message.
Jesus put them out,
That's a bad message.
and then he closed the door. Well, why he close the door? I mean, when you don't want nothing else to come in, you shut the door, right?
Shut it.
Put them out and close the door.
Well,
The only one that has a right to open the door is who?
the
Person that owns the place.
You. The owner of the house.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
My house, my business, my family, my children, my ministry. I'm the only one that has a right.
I like that.
And so now that I have put everything else out, Jesus says, okay, now I can work. Because see, now I'm only dealing with your mindset. I'm only dealing with your faith. I'm only dealing with your heart. I'm only dealing with your issues. All of that stuff that was interrupting, we have come to the moment now where it's just,
Wow. Wow.
and so Jesus speaks to destiny. He speaks to purpose. He speaks to the ministry. He speaks to the marriage. He speaks to the business. And he says, arise. That moment that you have been praying for, that moment that you have been fasting for, that moment that you have been crying out for, that moment that you said, I endured everything that I endured, everything that people were throwing at me, everything that they were saying about me, everything, how they took my name and they ran it through the streets, all the stuff that they did to me. I went through all of that to come to the moment where he said, where I thought I was as down and as low as I could go, and he reaches his hands down and he says,
41.
arise.
41.
The moment, the very moment that he spoke and he said, arise. It doesn't say that she rolled over.
Say it. What did it say?
It doesn't say that she tumbled over.
No.
It says that she arose.
Yes.
She got up,
You got up.
in other words. And so it doesn't matter what anybody got to say about it. When Jesus says arise, all you got to do is
Get up.
Get up.
That's it.
get
Preach,
up.
preach up.
Get up.
So, and
Huh.
I went through the lies, and I went through the ridicule, and
Preach, Pastor.
I went through the failures, and
Preach, Pastor.
I went through the talking about me, and I went through dealing with your isms, and I went through going through your schisms. I went through all of your lies. I went through the backbiting. I went through your hurts and your disappointments. I dealt with mine and I dealt with yours. And I've come to the moment where I thought, I just can't take no more. Have you had that?
Oh, yeah.
Amen.
You prayed.
Oh, yeah. Been there.
You fasted.
Yes.
And out of your mouth you said you believe. But the truth of the matter is you got to the place where you said, I just can't take it
Sure did.
no more.
I'm tell the truth. Sure did.
If I don't have to go through tomorrow, God I don't want to go through tomorrow. I just, enough. Enough is enough. And just when you thought it was over, just when you thought you had gone through, you're gone through, just when you thought, hey, I'm just going to go with what they said, it's over. The mourners are mourning, they're crying and they're weeping and they're wailing. Let's just go ahead and dig the hole in the ground. Come on, put me 6 foot under, because it's just over. And Jesus would speak in my moment of despair and say, damsel, arise.
Yes.
And I can't help but respond because I already discovered and said that he delivered the demonic spirits out of that child, and says that he calmed the raging sea, and said that he did all kinds of miracles, signs, and wonders, and said that the blind saw, the leap went and they were walking. My God, the dumb was talking, and said that he was a miracle working God. And so because Ann said it,
That's the word on the street.
when the word was spoken and he said, arise, everything in me came alive. Jesus, have mercy, glory be to God. Everything in me that I thought was dead has come alive again. So now I can dream again. Now I can believe believe again. Now I can
Thank you,
hope.
Lord.
The vision that I thought had died, that vision has been restored again. I can live again. I can walk again. I can hope again. I can see my future once again because he has spoken into my destiny. He has spoken into my purpose and he has said unto me. All right.
Preach, preacher. Preach, preacher.
Jesus, have mercy. Glory to God. I do believe I will. Yes, God. I shall.
God.
Jesus. Oh my
Bless the Lord. Bless the Lord. Thank you,
Everything
Lord,
in
for
me.
your word.
Everything in me.
Thank you, Lord.
Arise.
Thank you, Lord.
Mine is old.
So he says,
Thank you, Lord.
Mine, thank you. Get out my feet.
this is all I got to say.
No, say some more, preacher. Say some more.
When she got up,
Got a lot more to say. Got a lot more to go.
he speaks to your destiny. He speaks to your purpose. He speaks to your purpose. And I don't know what this means to you,
Come on, preacher.
but Jesus said, now eat it.
I'm trying. It's already open.
That's what he said.
Jesus.
Am I lying?
That's what he said.
Did you find that in your word?
It's in there.
That's what he said. Now feed it.
That's 43.
Verse 43.
Verse 43.
Feed destiny. Feed purpose. Feed that relationship. Feed that ministry. Feed your family. Feed your children. Feed whatever the thing was that was dying and he has spoken to and has spoken life into it. Now that it has risen, feed it. I ain't got no more to say. Stand up on my feet and give God some praise. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord.
Glory to God. Come on, give him praise. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Bless the name of the Lord. Hallelujah. Glory
Thank
to
you,
God.
God.
Jesus. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Thank you, God. Hallelujah.
Bless the name of the Lord. Hallelujah. Glory to God.
Thank you for your word,
Everything
God.
in your life, every situation, every circumstance that you thought was dead, that you had given up on, that when you thought that it was all good and everything was taken care of, you came to the moment and it just feel like everything went in the opposite direction. God speaks to your situation. He speaks to your circumstances. He speaks to your children. He speaks to your family members. And he says, arise. But now that he has said and he has spoken and he has told you that it shall live and not die, he says to go out and feed it. Feed it what? Feed it my word. Go and speak to them. Speak to the spirit of the individual. Speak to the spirit of that business. Speak to the spirit of that child, the spirit of that ministry. Speak.
Speak. Oh boy. What?
Feed it.
Jesus, I hear you.
Glory to God.
Jesus, I hear you.
Glory to God. Glory to God.
Thank you, God.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus.
Glory be to God. He says, you shall live
And not die. Yes, Lord.
You shall declare the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Hallelujah. You shall be a testament unto many nations. Hallelujah. Glory to God. I know that they said that it wouldn't be so, but God has prophesied and he has declared that it shall be, that you will be my mouthpiece. You will testify to generations. You will speak into the lives of young individuals. You
Yes,
shall do it.
Yes, I will.
You shall. And we know that whatever God does,
We can do too.
it is well done.
Yes, it is.
He says the blessing maketh rich and adds no sorrow.
No sorrow.
There is no shadow of turning
That's his blessing. Yes.
Glory be to God.
Hallelujah, Lord.
Glory,
So when he says it is so,
glory, glory.
it is so.
It is so.
When he says it is done,
It is done.
It is done.
Thank you, Lord.
God, I thank
it is only left
you. Glory.
that you follow the instructions of the one that wrote the manual.
That's right.
Glory to God.
Glory.
And feed. Feed destiny. Feed purpose.
Feed it. Yes, yes, yes.
In other words, give strength to it so that it can grow.
Yes, God.
Every farmer knows that once you plant a seed, you still have to continue to feed that seed.
Right.
You still have to nourish the seed.
Yes, you do.
So when he says feed it, he's saying water it, nurture it, so that it can grow. Amen.
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 Amen. Hallelujah.
Glory be to God.
Thank you, Lord.
Glory be to God. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah.
Wow.